Bobby, establish dominance, dude. Babas is gonna walk all over you otherwise, dude. You gotta, Gio. Hopefully, by the end of this podcast, you'll show Bobby how to be a man and hopefully
how to abuse cats.
Yeah, assert himself, dude.
That's why we brought you on, to teach Bobby how to be a man today.
Yeah. We're gonna teach you animal cruelty today.
Animal cruelty.
Figured I would start with peeing standing up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Damn, look, Finn, he got I think this is like the earliest Finn seal of approval we've gotten for a guest.
I think
he immediately hops into Gio's lap.
I think because we match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a lint roller for you after the show, too.
Oh,
You're all good. Don't worry, dude. We'll take care of you here, dude.
Thank God I'm not wearing black. Yeah, that would be fucked.
That's part of the charm. It's like, damn, he's got fucking dog fur on him. He's an everyday man.
He's a regular
Yeah.
Joe.
You won't see certain celebrities. I'm not going to say who, like Amy Schumer. They don't like fucking pet hair.
They don't
on
like
her.
animals.
Dude,
man.
did you see that? Like, she was tied to over 500 dog deaths in New York City.
Really?
Yeah, some
Was
kind
this
of-
during COVID?
Yeah, it was like some underground fighting ring and like her fucking chipmunk face.
Yeah, she's actually the quarterback for the Eagles next year.
Is she?
Yeah.
What's up? Welcome to Locker Room Talk, everybody. Matt Maran, Joe Gorman, Bobby Sheehan. Our guest today, Gio Perez.
What's up, guys? Man, thank you
What's
for having
up?
me.
How you,
Thank you for having me.
what's the name
Where's
of the
camera?
podcast?
On the Gate.
On the Gate.
On the
Yeah,
Gate,
cameras
You
right
guys are
over
like
here.
me. I do zero research when I invite guests on.
I've
yeah.
I've seen
And
a
I'll
lot
say
of the
the
clips
worst
with you
things.
and Derek though,
Yeah.
and I know it's like the name of it is a jail term, but I
Yeah.
don't remember what it was. Yeah,
Yeah,
what
on the
is
gate.
what is on the gate
On
means
the
like
gate.
you're about to get out, right?
No, it just means that the gates are going to open.
Yeah.
Like when the guards say it, that means on the gate they're opening or closing the gate.
Okay.
When the inmate says it, that means you're locked in and you want them to go to the gate so they could talk to each other.
Okay.
Because like it's just basically 20 cells side by side.
Yeah.
And you got 3 walls and a gate. So if you're back in your room, like in your bed,
Yeah.
nobody can hear you. So you have to go as close to the gate.
Gotcha.
So I'll just be like, I'll go over there. I'll be like, yo, Marin, on the gate.
Yeah.
That means come up so I can talk to you.
Gotcha. It's
That
a fun
means
podcast.
let's
You got
talk.
like you and Derek who both like serve
Yeah.
time and then
Yeah.
just hanging out and talking with people.
So
Yeah, it's like a
when-
total of 13 years between
Nice,
both
damn,
of us.
dude.
Whoa. Between the
Damn.
two of you,
Yeah,
13?
he's got most of it.
12
I got
years
4,
and
he's
you're-
got the 9.
12 and 1.
12 and
12
1.
12,
Yeah.
It's like
12
how,
years,
like- it's
9
like-
months.
12
like-
years, 9 months,
yeah.
and 3 months. I
It's
did
like
3
how
months.
like the
for
brothers
jumping
with
in-
the most home runs in baseball history are Hank Aaron and Tommy Aaron. Tommy Aaron's got like 10.
Yeah. Hank Aaron got the other 700
Yeah,
or
exactly.
whatever.
Well, close. A cop gave me a ride home to my house. So that was pretty. Officer, I'm scared. There's a lot of black
Yeah.
people around me. Please help.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta love white
Yeah.
privilege, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's amazing, dude.
I got it
yeah.
until they see my last name, and they're like, "Oh no, fuck this guy."
Perez.
I thought you were Italian.
Yeah, I spent a night in a precinct once. I was like 15.
Ooh.
Nice.
Matt, look out, a cat.
I know.
Look out, Matt, a cat.
Where did this happen? That they
You know-
arrested a 15-year-old?
in Queens and
Oh, this
Bayside.
is out here. Oh, I
Yeah.
guess it's different in the city.
On like Bell Boulevard, I got in some. I got in a lot of fights that year. I
I
was
was like, what'd you do? Because you were a wrestler, so did you take like a folding chair to him or something?
yeah.
This
It
is
was like-
before I was doing pro
It was
wrestling.
like Stone Cold when he would get arrested. He actually got arrested.
Yeah.
They did book him, but like Vince McMahon would always bail everyone out.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
a lot
none
of
of
the
that shit was scripted,
a lot of the
dude.
guys, like especially back in the day in like local territories, would just get arrested, and the owner would like bail them out, but they would never tell. They would tell them, "Don't break character. I'll take care of you."
Yeah.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
Your fucking character is the chain rapist. That's right, officer. I raped those women,
Yeah.
and you can't do anything. And I'll see you at WrestleMania. It's like you have the right to. They fucking. Oh man, there's been 20 unreported rapes in the area. It's like,
Yeah.
You're going down.
You
Bill
know-
Cosby
how they
was
have-
doing a character all those years.
You know how Manka has Sacco?
Yeah, yeah.
The
Yeah.
serial rapist has one of those embalming fluid rags. This is Raggy.
Yeah, it's Mr. Kako.
Say hi to Raggy.
Mr. Kako with chloroform.
Audience is cheering as the person passes out. They got him. He's a bad guy.
Yeah.
No
Oh,
holds
shit.
bar, no holds bar rape.
Damn. So, Gio, of the three of us, who do you think would be the first to be killed in prison? Me, Matt, or Bobby?
Bobby would be the first one to maybe get pimped out. No offense, because you're the smallest.
Oh,
He's also
I
the
interpret
dude.
that. Yeah,
And
that's
the
how I
right-
Bobby, take
interpret
off your
it.
shirt. Let everyone get a look at that body. Like, how could anyone not?
I mean, like in size. Like it's just like they're like, all right, this guy's a
Joe is
a
actually
small-
shorter, but
I'm
he's
too
more.
But
fat
he's
to
he's
rape,
a little
dude.
more stocky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I fucking
That's
know.
your first special. Too fat to rape.
I go like
Too fat to rape.
I do
It's
that.
like
Through the smoke screen.
it's like 2 Live Crew. It's
Yeah.
just 2.
I just do like the little kid. I go completely limp, so they have to try to pick me
Yeah.
up. And it's like, good God, it's not worth it. Let's
Too
go find
fast,
a
too furious,
Yeah.
too
All right,
fat, too
yeah,
rape.
just let him lay on his stomach. We'll be
Yeah.
all right.
So I always figured that if I went to prison, I'd find the biggest guy there, and I would
kiss him.
suck his dick.
Nice. So why would you
That-
suck Matt's dick?
I don't think I'd be the biggest guy in prison.
It's all just like a plan to
Yeah.
go to fucking,
Yeah.
like we both got arrested at the same time.
Yeah.
Matt tries to suck his own dick to establish dominance. I'm sorry, I'm huge.
I always love that advice, like find the biggest guy and kick his ass, because I think that I cannot kick the biggest guy's ass. I don't think it's an option for me or a lot of people.
Yeah, no, but you'll be surprised, right? Because there's some people, they always say don't underestimate size in jail, right?
Nice.
I'm only saying this because you've never been to jail, right? But like if, let's say I went into jail and I saw all three of you guys, I'd be more scared of you
Hell yeah.
Nice.
than him. Especially if you wanted to fight. Because I'm like, oh, this guy knows how to throw hands if he's like acting like that.
See,
You
dude,
can
I'd
kind of
like-
tell the
yeah.
way people carry themselves.
Yeah,
I'd
but
start-
my voice would be like shaking. I'd be like, I'm gonna fuck you up, and they'd be like, all right, I'm calling your bluff, dude. I'm not a good poker player.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I'd be like Tim
You need a
Allen,
good
like
poker
starting
face.
like fucking comedy nights, fucking getting everyone to. I come out and like start like an illustrious career at ABC, and then get really irritated when people bring up my criminal past, dude. That's fucking exciting. But like clearly, like at work is like, Gio, you are, dare I say, an upstanding citizen, and
Yeah, I've been
when
out
I
of
first
trouble
met
for
you,
9
I had
years.
no idea, like you
Yeah.
had, because you were just like such a nice dude.
Thank
You were
you.
always like so, like it's not like the idea. It's like, oh, be careful, he went to jail. Like it's like, but
Yeah.
you're like one of the nicest dudes. Like I the first thing I would think is like, oh, funny dude, great dad, like always
Thank
a
you,
homie.
thank you,
And
thank you.
it's and I think like in our society we have like this stigma where it's like, fuck, but clearly the prison system works because you're a model citizen,
Yeah, I mean,
dude.
not for everybody, though.
I was
For
gonna
everybody.
say, do you would you look back and say that before prison you needed that to get to where you are now?
Yeah, I had to
Okay.
lose everything. I had to
Okay,
basically lose.
yeah.
Like the last one was the longest one. It was 2 years. That's when my baby mother stopped fucking with me. I lost car, money, everything. So I
Wow.
came back to absolutely nothing. This was back in 2016. So now that, because when I was in there, I'm like, I'm gonna change because I almost lost everything.
Wow.
But I got home and lost everything. Like I thought, I was like, oh no, I'm gonna change now. But it was too late. By the time I got home,
Yeah.
I found out everything went to shit.
Yeah.
So then, by then, it was just like I was too late. So now I had that fear in me. Where at first I almost didn't care for like the first couple months, but then my family was like, they were offering like, hey, you want to come down to Alabama? My father's like offered it to me too. He's like, yo, listen. He's like, I'll give you a little piece of shit car that you can. He's like, I'll drive you down there. I'll fly back up just to help you out and help you out a little bit for the first 2 months just to get out of New York. Because I was working out here, but I'm like, what am I gonna do down there?
Right.
Yeah.
And when he offered that, I went down there, and in like the first 2 weeks, I had like 2 jobs, and that's all I did was just work. Ended up keep getting better jobs, and then I met a girl at work. We started dating 2 years in. Like I had a regular life, I had my own apartment, 1 bedroom, and it's easy out there because
What
the
jobs were you
rents.
doing?
I was a seafood manager at Publix, and I was a dishwasher at this private Catholic school.
Yeah.
And I was working those both jobs, and then I got a promotion at the Publix, so I left the school. And then I was dating another girl who's another manager. And it was like I had like a normal. That was the first time I had like a normal life.
Yeah.
Like, I was
Yeah.
9 to 5 at my car. I was like, that was the first time I was living off of like legal money
Yeah.
and taking care of myself. And but I didn't feel happy. I was like, well, this shit still sucks. I was like, yeah, I'm being good, but I wasn't happy.
Yeah.
And then,
As manager at Publix, better than jail, but still, no one dreams of being the
was-
manager at Publix.
but it still fucking sucks,
Yeah.
dick. And but it was still like it was peace. I felt peaceful, but I wasn't happy, you know. And then I was getting weed. I started smoking weed again, and then the guy I was getting weed from, he started getting me like other shit. So I was like, yo, I got coke, and I wasn't a big coke head, so I was just like, fuck it, you know. So I did coke like 1 or 2 times, and then he comes up, he's like, yo, I got Molly. You want to try? And I was like, I've never done Molly, but I've done ecstasy, so I'm like, fuck it. So I did it. I was having a blast. Next thing I know, I'm up for 5 days, and you know, I'm doing fucking meth. And like I find out I'm doing meth, hanging out with people. Like, yo, dude, that's not fucking Molly.
yeah.
And I stopped doing it within like the first 8 hours, and I was still awake for 5 days because I had done so much in
Oh,
those
wow.
8 hours, thinking it was Molly, because it was just like a small amount.
Yeah.
It was like I think it was like a half a gram or less.
You got a true Alabama experience.
Oh, 100%. And the funny thing was, these girls are the ones that told me it was meth, and they're like, yo, can we have it? And I just gave it to them.
Yeah.
And I ended up staying awake for 5 days. It was like the week of Valentine's Day of 2018. And I
Wow.
had signed up for this open mic at this comedy club down there.
Is that like first time doing comedy?
First time, yeah.
Oh,
It was
wow.
my first
Yeah.
time. I got an email, and I'm up for 5 days. Like I said, I stopped doing it Sunday, and it's like Wednesday. I'm like, why the fuck I haven't slept yet? Hasn't this feeling left? So in my mind, I thought I got stuck like that. You know how people have smoked like meth or done
Yeah.
psychedelics and never
That,
came
Yeah.
back.
This is forever kind of moment.
Yeah.
I thought
Oh, yeah.
I'm just gonna be this fucking like
Yeah.
brain dead retard for the rest of my
A
life.
few days later, you still feel it a little bit, and you're like, all right, it's mostly gone, but I guess a little of this is just with me forever. Like,
Yeah. And it was like, and then that was that week. I think that was like during the 14th. I remember my girl came and I had to lie like I had the flu because I was just in bed. I didn't answer a phone call for like 24 hours.
Yeah.
And she was like getting worried and shit. And the first night I was with my family, and it was like a Sunday, and they don't see me during the week, so they didn't think nothing. You know what I mean? Like if I would have been out here, somebody would been like, "Yo, what the fuck is up with Gio?"
Yeah.
Because I literally just shut my phone off and stayed in bed smoking weed,
Hmm.
hoping like, "Yo, I'm gonna get some sleep today."
Yeah.
And like a couple days later, I finally sobered. And all I'm thinking of is I'm like, I'm supposed to do comedy next week. I haven't had a funny thought in my head. Like I haven't had a happy
that
or
goes.
funny thought in my head. But like not at like I couldn't. It was just all I was thinking about was just like I want to sleep. Like
Yeah.
I just felt like, oh my God, what's going on? It was just nothing but negative thoughts.
Damn.
And then I ended up doing like 3 open mics, and the one at the club was a competition, and it was like 13 comics, and I didn't know it was like a semifinals to get in on the main stage and then compete to get past.
Where was the,
Start
where in
on,
Alabama?
Birmingham.
Birmingham.
Damn,
Yeah,
that
it's,
sounds like the way to do. What would you rather do? Like endless bringer shows, or just like one and done competition?
I mean, something like
It was a bringer though. It was a bringer competition.
Oh, it was?
You had to
Yeah.
bring 4 people to perform.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so then,
And-
but and that also like, you know what? That can really fuck some people over who
Yeah.
bring a lot of people.
Right.
Because like, oh, I'm bringing 8 people, so I got it in.
Yeah.
And like, you got those 8 people, but like usually they have them vote for multiple people.
Yeah. No, but they had a judge.
Oh,
it
a ju-
wasn't.
wait,
it
so
wasn't judge.
Audience doesn't even matter, just the
Audience doesn't
judge.
even
I did a
matter. It's
bringer,
the judge.
So that is
Yeah.
like the worst of both worlds.
Yeah.
And they don't even tell you who the judge. You don't even know who the judge is.
Yeah, I
Nice,
did a
dude.
bringer.
I bet
like,
it's the
my
guy with
first-
the big white wig
Yeah.
and the robes.
My first year doing comedy,
Doesn't
where they had
matter.
a guy come out with a decibel measurer to measure the crowd applause after your set. They would be like, so
crazy.
someone had 30 people there,
Oh,
and
of
so it was
course.
like,
Yeah.
I did well, and after the set, they asked everyone, "What do you think of Matt?" And a decent applause. But then the other guy who did okay, 30 people there. How do you think of him? Crazy applause.
I mean, that still has happened to me where I did a laugh off. I would just say, I won't say what club, but it was
Yeah.
a laugh off competition, and it was a bringer, right?
Yeah,
And me and this one guy probably had the best set of the night,
yeah.
but I was Hispanic, he was African American, and we didn't even place. Like me and in my mind, I was like, the way I saw everybody set in my set, I was just like, I might be third.
Yeah.
But then when I saw that they named the third place and second place, I was like, all right, one of us didn't win. They only picked one of us. And when I saw they didn't pick none of us, I was just like, what the fuck am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
Like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
And the kid, when they called first place, half the back just stood up and gave him like a standing ovation because it
Oh,
was
so
Yeah.
he
his
must have
family.
been really good.
Yeah, he killed it. He had a fan base. He was
Yeah.
killing it.
I lost to I did a competition in San Jose at a little place called the Improv.
Spanish
heard-
for Saint John, by the way.
Ever known about that? That was that was cool because
Is Jose is Joe.
Saint John.
yeah.
John?
Saint Joe. Yeah, Jose
Juan,
is Joseph.
Juan is
Jose.
John, right?
Juan is John.
Yeah.
Jose is Joseph.
Guys, if
Yeah.
you laughed at that riff just now, please rescind that laugh.
You were actually being racist.
I was at the and the Improv is cool because like I guess like Todd Glass is, like partial owner or something to the chains because before a show, a video comes down and like Todd Glass like explains how to be an audience member. Where it's like, if the comic talks to you, you can talk to them, but don't fucking talk to the comics unless you're prompted to. No flash photography, shit like that. Take a
the
fucking
club
photo, dude.
announcements?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that shit? I love that shit. But I lost the competition to a get this, comedian in a wheelchair.
Oh.
But like I knew like that wasn't like a real loss, you know? Because like how can you fucking compete with a guy talking about like I'm fucking dying,
Yeah.
like literally, like.
And also, he should
yeah.
have been disqualified because he couldn't do stand-up comedy.
Oh come on,
Oh.
Matthew. He did have a bit where he like had like fucked up legs and like that's how or he gets up and like kind of hobbles around on fucked up legs and he's
Yeah.
like that's how the women walk after I fuck them.
Nice.
You know, and it's I
Solid.
bet, dude. Matt, fucking
Hell yeah.
Matt, you're supposed to
You
vote
know
for
what?
me. You fucking
No, I
retard.
think I agree with the decision of this competition. This guy's awesome. Sorry, Joe.
I bring Matt in to fucking vote. Like, oh, was I supposed to vote for you?
Was there,
Don't bring me as a bringer. If there's a guy in a wheelchair with a dumb joke, I'll vote for him over you.
did they vote on a handicap?
They did vote on the
Yeah.
hand,
Mm.
But that was like I remember like being like, oh well, whatever. I still had a good set. I walked away thinking like I had a good set and like clearly like if they would any competition where a crippled person can win, that's not a competition I want to be a part of.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
I don't want one that's like accepting of people in a wheelchair. That's vile, dude. Come
Yeah.
on. God said slow your ass down.
Yeah.
And man said no. I've fucking bonded with machine instead.
Yeah.
You're competing with an android if you think about
That's
it.
true,
That's
yeah.
disqualification.
I'm like the
Performance
John
enhancing
Henry of
drugs.
fucking comedians.
Yeah, he's going against the
Going
train.
against the machine, dude.
Yeah.
My heart gave out.
Was it an electrical chair?
No, he had like he at least like
manual?
would fucking push himself around. I got to give him that.
Yeah.
You
Probably
know.
got some upper body strength. The Joe Swanson.
He does. Yeah.
Did he have big arms?
No, but they were like
He had
really
grip?
fucking like tight, like Spider-Man. You know how it's like thin but strong.
Lot
Have
of
you
veins.
like a
ever
runner? You know.
Have you ever been in jail with someone who's crippled?
No, I don't think so.
I want to know how do
think
crippled
so.
people do in jail?
They have a medical dorm. If you're crippled, you get put separate.
Oh, they're
Yeah,
separate.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You're
Put
not
them
in
out
with the
every
cops
day.
and chomos.
Yeah, the chomos.
Gotcha.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Crippled prison.
You know, I just learned what that word meant not too long ago. Was chomos. That wasn't a word that was used. when I
Oh,
was
it's not in
jail.
prison? I
No,
know.
I'm pretty sure I've heard it from other people, but I guess that's more new.
Mhm.
Chomos. They just called them rapos.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
rapos.
Yeah, it's like
That
he's
sounds
a
like the
rapo.
worst cereal imaginable, dude.
Rapo, kid fucker, but chomo. I didn't know what that. I thought chomo was like something like a Mexican gang or something. Like he was like a Mexican hitman. But then I forgot. I found out it was chomless. And I was like, why chomo? And I realized the cheat.
Yeah.
Was there
Fun fact.
anybody that you came in contact with prison that you were like, oh, I'm scared of this person?
One time, but it was just like real quick. I had got called into court, and this was after I was sentenced. So I didn't know I had court, but I had like some like little minor weed charge that was open, and I got caught like last minute, so I wasn't ready. I didn't know, and the guard rushes me, and I didn't have a chance to put on like my thermals under. So now I'm just like with a shirt like this, like just my regular like jail clothes, and like the courthouses and are freezing. So like I'm in the courthouse like this, just like trying to keep myself warm, and there was this dude. He was built like John Henry. He looked like John Henry.
Uh-oh.
And then I just see him tap his boy. He goes like, look, he's scared. And I just remember looking up and hearing him say that, and I was gonna be like, no, I'm fucking cold. But then I knew he would have just knocked my head off. Like he would have made me. He would have put fear into me after that.
Yeah.
And then like the whole time they're all like telling stories about each other, and like his friends are like talking about how he did a home invasion without a gun. He just ran in and started beating the shit out of the dude.
Oh yeah.
And I was like,
Matt,
good
don't let
thing.
that happen to me.
I was like, good
I'll
thing.
protect you.
Yeah, I was like, good thing I just shut the fuck up when he said I was
Yeah.
scared. Because like now I really am scared. Now it's
That's
not
a
even the
maniac.
cold.
It gets
yeah.
to your
Yeah.
turn and you're like, I sold
Yeah.
weed.
Yeah. He's like, I'm in here for a coke charge. But like, he had like his wrist looked like this.
Oh,
And
yeah,
he had like
yeah.
this big shirt on, and it's just like popping out. He's like one of
Yeah.
these dudes, and he had
Like
like,
Jimmy
two.
Peoples.
He had like two French braids. Oh, he was bigger than Jimmy Peoples.
What?
Yeah.
Impossible.
It's huge. He looked like Dante Nero. He was
Oh,
like Dante
shit.
Nero, but more like cut up. He didn't
Yeah.
look like fat.
Yeah, yeah.
And he just like with two French braids.
Oh God. Yikes.
Yeah, that was fucking scary as hell.
I wouldn't want to go to that kind of prison.
You ever play a football game against the guards? I love the longest
Nah,
yard.
the guards. I've heard of like guards in prison. I've heard
Yeah.
of this in prison that the guards will compete with inmates in weightlifting, like squatting and shit.
Oh,
They'll do
okay.
weightlifting.
Oh yeah.
Because like they'll say some of those guards would be just monsters.
Yeah.
That would
You
be
gotta
my out.
be. You have to be a monster because you're in there with big people, so you got to be big too to handle
Yeah.
yourself.
My neighbor, he was a a prison guard, and he got real big, but late in his career.
Got a
And the
little
catalyst to getting big was he got alone with a prisoner who like fucked him up pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he went like 10 years without that happening.
Yeah.
But he the way he explained it to me was it's like when they say if you ride a motorcycle, it's not if you fall, it's when you fall. Same thing if you're a CEO. It's not like if someone tries to fuck you up. It's when. Yeah. If you have any other questions about jail, please let me know.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Did you have any issues with any of the guards ever?
Oh, a couple times. I
Yeah.
got beat up.
Oh,
I think
damn.
like twice.
Mm.
One time I was a minor, and
Me too, actually.
Yeah.
one time I was a minor in jail. Were you a minor in jail?
No. No, they never caught me, Gio.
You know,
you never got
Bobby,
caught.
jail, the ultimate timeout.
Well, jail is for people that break the rules.
Yeah.
Jail is for people that don't do their homework on time.
Yeah.
It's just I look at it more of a gated community.
Again, yeah.
It's
Nice.
just a little
I like
nice
that.
little, you know. It's even better because you only have to see a family like 2 hours a week. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's
Mm.
way better than jail.
Nice.
That's not bad at all.
They
Yeah.
bring you food to you,
Yeah.
right? They do your laundry.
Yeah.
You get to go play basketball with the boys every day.
Nice. I love doing basketball.
Working
with the
out.
boys.
You get to watch sports. There's always, when
Get to work out.
yeah,
No
nobody,
chicks?
no,
No chicks?
nobody talking to you while your sports or your shows is on.
Oh my god, I don't think I
Nobody
could
that'll
survive in the
ignore
outside
you.
world anymore.
You're like that guy at the end of fucking
Shawshank.
Yeah.
He immediately kills him. He immediately kills himself. Where it's like, all right, where can I get food? And they're like, oh yeah, you can walk over there. I'm like, are you fucking? Oh, I don't think so.
You just see Joe carving his initials in the wooden beam.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, I fucking have a good relationship with the guards, so they come in and change me.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm too ashamed to use the public bathrooms, so it's like I'll just mess myself, and they're like they change me.
Oh,
I don't have to feel bad for me. I'm so charming. Come on, dude. This has been a mistake.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd cry so much.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd cry.
I used to
Oh.
work with this girl, and she was talking to this guy who was in jail. And in my head, like, I knew what it was. Like, he was just using her while she was in jail. But she would talk to me like, oh, yeah, when he comes out, I'm moving to Pennsylvania. I got all these plans. She's like telling me all her plans of what's going on with this guy. And then, like, I remember one time she just kept complaining about him. And I was just like, yo, don't put too much, effort in it because you don't know how he's going to act when he gets home. You
Yeah.
should wait because everybody promises the world when they're in jail.
Mm.
And she ends up moving out. When he gets out of jail, she ends up moving in with him, right? Or trying to move in. She moves all the way to Pennsylvania.
Oh wow.
And he just kind of ghosts her. He's just like keeping his distance. They never saw each other, never made plans. She said they hung out. Oh no, they did hang out once, but it was in a hotel room. He didn't want her to go to the house. And then he was like that. He was doing weird things. I was like, what? Like what? He's like, oh, he would kneel when he'd piss. And I was like, what? I was like, I've heard of sitting down, but I've never heard of kneeling.
Yeah, that's.
And then
wild.
she goes like, oh,
Was
so
the national anthem playing?
wait, what's that guy's name? Kaepernick. He's doing a Kaepernick.
Kaepernick,
Yeah,
he's Kaepernick.
yeah. You better
He's
Kaepernick.
Tebowing.
You better Kaepernick it, brother. I don't want to hear that piss puddle.
Yeah.
But supposedly it was just like so. I'm in my mind. I was just like, oh, your boyfriend was a bitch.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
because
wow.
that meant somebody was telling him like, you better kneel when you piss
Well-
because I don't want nothing splashing.
Wow.
Well, thank God I would never be a bitch because it would be impossible for me to kneel in my dick to reach the top of the toilet bowl. Like that's I'm fucking kneeling. I'm like it's like up to my eyes at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm
You
like,
gotta shoot it
I'm
up.
trying to fucking
Yeah.
arch my stream. It just hits the fucking underneath. It's like, oh, now you're gonna be real, man. Oh, if you were gonna rape me before, jeez Louise.
Where were you in jail as a minor?
All my time I did was out in Suffolk.
Okay.
So I did like a total of 4 years broken up in all in
Gotcha.
Suffolk. Yeah.
And what did you go to jail for? Was it all drug related stuff?
Mostly.
I think there was one. It was like, wasn't it like a snowball thing?
Yeah, that was the last one. That was the
Okay.
last charge.
Like what was it? Someone.
I threw a snowball at somebody and it broke a mirror
Yeah.
and the glass cut him. So when they initially arrested me, they said that I threw a bottle at him. So they arrested me for assault with a deadly weapon.
Yeah.
And then when I got to the precinct, the statement said that I hit him over the head with a block of ice.
Yeah.
And
That's
then,
cold.
And then they said, and then in the final, like the court papers, they said I threw a snowball with I threw a block of ice with rocks that I threw it at him. So there was like 3 different things, like what he said in the statement,
Yeah.
what the court said, and what they said when they initially arrested was like 3 different stories.
Jesus.
And I found out after I was sentenced and I signed everything. I sat up for like 12 months before I even knew what was going to happen. So I was just in jail, not knowing, just going to court every month.
Oh God.
And when I finally take the deal, the judge calls everybody over. He calls the prosecutor, my lawyer, and the secretary. And he's saying something to them, and he's like looking at me the whole time. And then they walk over to me, and then they go, "Oh, he just realized while he was signing the order of protection, he just realized he knows the victim, but he just realized, so it didn't affect your case." And like in my mind, I'm like, why the fuck would he tell me that? But like I was like, oh, that's why. Like this case should have been thrown the fuck out. But
he knew the victim.
But he knew the guy, and also I had an open gun charge with him.
But
And
was it you threw the snowball at a guy? Like, was it a guy you were beefing?
it was
with
just a
in some
bouncer
way?
at some bar, and he kind of like tried to put his hands on my face,
Oh,
and I got
okay.
pulled. My cousins pulled me away
Gotcha.
from him.
But it was like throwing
Was he
a snowball.
blind and just
Yeah,
wanted
just
to
throw
see how
snowball.
beautiful you truly were?
Yeah, I just wanted him to see my heater.
Yeah. So it was like you were mad at a person because
Yeah.
throwing a snowball. I'm gonna see like you and your friends were in a snowball fight.
Yeah, it would've
like,
been-
Yeah, like
it
you
was
and your
more-
buddies hanging out. Yeah.
But also, because I had the open gun charge, so I was doing it because I'm like, oh, this is a non-violent.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
But
But
that's
that's-
jail for throwing
yeah.
a snowball.
But once, you
But-
had priors, so then it's
yeah.
easier to.
And then
yeah.
his ear got cut. If he wouldn't have got cut, it would have just been a misdemeanor,
Yeah.
and I would have been fine. But they hit me with the felony, so I was supposed to go in for sentencing, like 4 days later. So for the gun charge, I was like, he let me out for 5 weeks to go spend time with my family before I went in and finished that charge.
Oh man.
But that happened. So he's just like, oh, okay, you wanted to go get in trouble again while I let you out, and you go do some dumb shit like throw a snowball and hurt somebody. So I got fucked. And then
Damn.
not even more. And then I thought about it afterwards. I was like, he did that so it wouldn't be on record. Because then it would be a conflict of interest, and he would have to, all that would not count. He would have to just drop that case, and they would have to give it to another judge. And I thought about it afterwards. I should have had a dead president's meltdown. And just started yelling.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking bullshit if that was your friend. Just so it's
Yeah.
on record.
Yeah.
And then threw a chair at him.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's
dude.
what I would have done.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't it like if you knock out the judge, they have to throw out the case?
I think so, yeah.
Yes.
I
It
got
goes
that from
with it.
Ally McBeal.
Yeah.
Powerful, dude.
Yeah,
It's
that
a
was a
great
great
show.
episode of
It's a
Law
great
and
show.
Order
Yeah.
when they knocked out the judge.
That was tight, dude. Christopher Maloney was like, enough. Throws his fucking briefcase at the guy.
That was the episode John Cena guest starred on.
Oh, yeah.
He provided the steel chair. But yeah, so you do comedy, you do an open mic in Birmingham,
Yeah, I
and
did
then
that
how do
open
you
mic.
end up getting back up to New York?
Well, after I was there for like a year and a half.
You were doing comedy there the whole time?
Yeah, no, not though. I was there for
Or-
3 years, and I say half the time. So like
Okay.
for a
Wait,
year
did you
and a
win
half.
that comedy competition?
Not the finals. I didn't even place in the finals. But yeah, I kept. The guy was very helpful. He's from New Jersey, so I met him the second time I was there, and he's like, "Where you from?" And when I told him I was from New York, he's like, but my material was too dirty, so he wouldn't really let me work the club.
Yeah.
And like at first, like I thought things were going great. I was like, wow, this is going good.
Yeah.
Like, and then for 4 months, I just bombed everywhere. Every
yeah.
mic, every show.
Yeah.
And I was just
yeah.
so high. I was still chasing that first month in comedy, so I just didn't stop. And
There-
then when I came
yeah.
out to New York, I remember I did the Creek in the Cave, like straight, like all my stuff still in the car. The drive, right? I didn't even go to Long Island yet. I stopped in Long Island City on the way home and did a mic. And I remember just bombing so bad. And I was like, fuck. And I was
I've
supposed
heard
to go chill
about
with some girls.
bombing. It sounds stressful.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
terrible.
You never do as well in comedy as you do like your first week, like figuring it
Yeah.
out. And like the
I
first,
thought I was
like,
the chosen one the first
Oh,
one.
you-
I was like, I'll be Chappelle in 5 years.
I'm a prodigy. Like, it's like the
Yeah.
greats are gonna like, hey,
Yeah.
we saved a table for you, a spot at the
Yeah.
table for
Yeah.
you. You know.
I was like, this
yeah.
is I'm the prophecy has come true.
Well, it's
Yeah.
like you find like this kind of like direction and purpose like
Yeah.
beforehand. Like it really hits, and then like you have like that bad set, and you're like, well, wait a.
yeah.
But I did everything the exact same, and like then you kind of like learn like, oh, there's so much nuance with it because
Yeah.
how you feel, how the audience feel, like there's so many factors in having a good set.
You know.
Because I remember you. You two were one of the first people I remember seeing out here at the creek, and then you.
And
after
then you're like, of course I could do this. Anybody can do this.
Yeah.
No, you guys were great, and I remember I would just come and just bomb left and right, and then it was just for months, and I wouldn't get on shows.
When did you come up to New York?
This was June of 2019. So a year.
yeah.
I did like
Gotcha.
almost
You got
a
like
year
right
before the pandemic.
I feel like
That
I
was
started seeing
so-
you more during the pandemic.
Yeah,
Maybe a
yeah.
little before.
Gio
I
was
did go
the-
to a couple of the comedy fight clubs, but I
Okay.
just went and watched. I didn't really talk to
Gotcha.
anybody.
I think by June I was mostly back to. I had brain surgery in December 2018,
Right.
so there was like a few months. There was like 6 months or so where I started getting back into it, but I wasn't like. I think by June, like towards the end of the year, I think I was mostly kind of back.
I met
going
Matt
around.
before his brain surgery, but then I had to reintroduce him afterwards.
Yeah.
'Cause, like, they literally had to cut that part of his brain
They
out.
cut out the part of my
Of
brain that
Joe.
knew Joe.
Yeah, Matt
Joe.
immediately got brain cancer as soon as he met me, and they had
What's
to
that
cut
Eternal
that part out.
Spotless Mind? What's that?
Yeah.
The Jim Carrey movie?
Yeah, Matt was like, I can't do comedy. I realized like this guy's the
Yeah.
comedian.
Eternal sunshine of a Joe-less mind.
Joe's Mind.
Yeah, that was well. It was cool because like you were doing like outdoor comedy like during
Yeah.
COVID when everyone like when like there was like and then you had that page and the New York
Yeah.
scene was, let's just say at the very least, divided because
Very
there were
divided.
Yeah, there were people that
Oh
were like
yeah, there were people so mad that shows were
Yeah.
happening.
like they were like these
Yeah.
people are murdering each other,
Yeah.
you know. And that was that was awesome.
There's still people that I've seen. I remembered a lot of people that were like talking shit, and
Yeah.
I'll see them, and it's just like my favorite part is when I'm on a show with them and they bomb.
Yeah,
That's my favorite thing. I love that because
Should've
they were
fucking
just
tried
like
that in
this
a park.
I never understand what goes to the head of somebody who talks shit or like just
Yeah.
does a complete 180 like
Yeah.
that, where they either talk shit about someone, then meet them and they're so nice to them in person, or like what I get is a lot of the people who will oh, here's a joke that you'll like, and it's like the
Yeah.
most fucked up offensive
Yeah.
joke, and it's from somebody who does like post a lot of woke stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like people who like, I'm like, I know them, and they'll say fucked up stuff to me, and I'll see them go after someone for doing a joke that
Yeah.
they've done worse shit than.
Like, remember this one comic, and I will not say their name, but he was like, oh, hey, locker room talk. I know you like dark humor. Check this out. He showed me a fucking photo of a prostitute bound and gagged with a gun pointed to her head.
What the fuck?
How is that funny, Gio?
Not at all.
Not at all,
There's
right?
nothing funny about
Watch out, mister. I know who you are,
Yeah.
and I'm going to say who it is on the Patreon episode. That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
For just $5 a month, you can find out what illustrious comedian in the New York scene threatened a sex worker, which, as we've discussed, is a powerful thing to be.
yes.
And you know what? If you give us $6 a month, we'll throw in the picture that he sent too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
we'll
a
send you
wild,
the
it's a wild picture. man. I wouldn't book him. I wouldn't book
And
this
that
guy.
sex worker, also a comedian.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Because
The plot
all
thickens.
women comedians must be OnlyFans girls
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
That's wild,
It's
huh?
a new rule.
That's a
Guys
credit.
have to have a podcast. Women have to have an OnlyFans.
OnlyFans, yeah.
Yeah.
Or
I love-
OnlyFeets.
Yeah.
Only feats. Yeah.
Women
They have
would
to be
sell,
selling something online
yeah.
or selling underwear.
Dude, if I was a girl, I would sell feet pictures. I don't
Oh,
care. You don't do anything. I dated a girl who did
I'll
like.
sell
lived
my
with a
feet
girl.
pictures
Catherine
with
would,
my
uh,
underwear
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
my feet. I put like my underwear around my feet and then send pictures of that.
I dated a girl who
Double
would
up.
go to like parties and just like do or like go to individual like she had clients and dudes just play
Yeah.
with their feet for an hour, and she wouldn't if they ever
Nice.
wanted to do anything more she would just say no. But she made good money. Just have it like laying on the bed on her phone for an hour, and a
She-
dude just touches her feet.
Yeah, but I mean that's not the mother of your kids.
It could be.
Maybe one day.
I guarantee
You've never heard the term "son of a whore"?
Yeah. You never heard of turning a hoe into a housewife?
hoes don't act right.
I
I guarantee
yeah.
you there's some guy out there, right, who's selling feet pics of girls he's taking pictures of like without permission.
Yikes, that's monstrous. You saved those pictures. You
Yeah.
saved those pictures for you.
It's gonna
And,
be
like-
on the news. If not, there's probably a news article out right now of a guy who got caught doing that.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And they're like, this man made millions selling feet of other women.
Well, it's time for us to expose those toes, fellows.
Isn't it? You
Expose
know,
the
speaking of
toe.
feet,
Toe
You put your
exposed.
best foot forward on that one.
Yeah, I really did.
Hey.
you wear
Oh no, I'm sorry. Expose the toes, foes. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
you wear a glove with your fingertips exposed.
That joke had
You're
legs.
cool.
It had
There
legs.
You wear a sock with your toes exposed. Hobo. double standard much.
The big J.
Okay.
Ogerson gloves on your
Yeah.
feet.
Yeah, that's what I have on my feet.
Big
I'm
J
like a
socks.
I'm like a tough guy. I got my fucking
Fingerless
toes
socks.
interlaced
Fingerless socks.
with
But you can make
toeless.
those because they have the glove socks,
Yeah.
the ones that you can put your toes in. So you just
Yeah.
cut the fingers off.
Yeah.
Why
But
not?
you leave enough to just
Just enough so like the top
yeah,
knuckle
so it
of your
stays
feet.
on.
Yeah.
It doesn't slide back.
I guess you could say this is the hobo show with Joe and Mo.
Oh.
Oh.
Mo Maran. Mo Maran.
There you go.
I didn't know you were French, dude.
Yeah.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Mo Maran.
Oui, oui.
Je suis un docteur Lacaire. Il y a une bébé de...
Show me your feet pictures.
Una petite période de la picture. Damn, I could probably just get it just like speaking with a French accent and like kind of like a vaguely French. It's like all the same, dude. They know what I'm talking about.
Remember that French character that Keenan used to do in the Bad
Yeah.
on all that? That's what just
Yeah.
that reminded me.
Yeah, yeah. But like that was actual French.
Was it? No,
Yeah, it was like
wasn't.
it was just dumb little French words though. It just
I
sounded
thought
like
he was just saying oui oui.
Oh no. No, it was actual French. Because like in high school our French teacher showed us that and it was like we can use a couple of these sentences.
Oh wow.
So we would have to design our own goofy French sentence.
Yeah.
You know, like something like the cheese is moldy.
Yeah.
Or like I have a rotten sock in my
Yeah.
mouth.
The
you
only
know,
French
something.
I know, omelette du fromage, because they said that on an episode of Dexter's Laboratory.
Yeah, that was the shit, man.
Yeah.
Dexter's Laboratory.
Dexter's Lab
His
was
mom
awesome.
could get it, man.
Oh,
I'd fuck the
fat
shit out of
that's
her
a
mom,
pog.
man.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You see that artwork of her going to the bathroom?
No.
I'll post on the Discord. And I'll DM it to you.
Yeah.
I'll print it and send a portrait of it to you as
gonna-
thanks for doing this podcast. Dexter's
Just sign
mom.
it.
Yeah.
Dexter's mom bathroom.
Yeah. Were there
Great.
any mentally disabled people in jail? Like would they be separate also, or would they be in with Jen Pop?
No, I've never seen like no Downies in there or
They had their own gang.
Yeah.
Don't
Their
mess with the
gangs.
extra syndromes.
Their gang symbols. Like,
Time to
The
jump
down
you
sinners. We're the down sinners.
yeah.
Hey, you, give me your crayons.
They're smuggling crayons in their buttholes instead of cigarettes. You're like, fuck, I fucked it up again.
Their dorm looks like a fucking daycare.
Yeah. Or I guess maybe if somebody actually was like downstream, maybe they put them separate. But just
Yeah,
any
I don't
guys.
even think they'll put them in jail. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think
any
you could
guys-
get convicted of a crime if you
can't.
have Down syndrome.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
just guys who are a little like.
Your Honor, my
Yeah.
client is obviously retarded. He doesn't have the mindset to defend himself in a prison like where it's wild and untamed men. My simple little client here, he needs a padded cell with some Play-Doh.
Well, the prosecution wants to note that the defendant is just wearing a helmet that I watched him put on right before the trial.
The Southern lawyer who doesn't understand you can claim insanity and feels need to call his client retarded over and over again.
Dude, I would much rather.
That's what they did to
It's
Brendan
clear
Dassey, dude.
that my client is a mongoloid.
If you had to choose between insane or retarded, I'd go with retarded.
I think retarded.
I'd go with retarded.
No,
Like,
because
but
women
you can't-
like
you can't-
crazy guys. I don't think they're like, you see that guy? He's
not
retarded.
like not the kind of women not the kind of women you want to wife up. You know, it's
okay.
like but also you also don't want to wife up a woman that looks like a retarded guy.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, he's hot. The hottest retarded woman.
Yeah.
Dude, I could pull some retarded tail if I myself were retarded.
Eventually, we're gonna have no choice but to have sex with retarded women because everybody's gonna be retarded.
Everyone's using
Yeah.
dude.
Everyone's gonna be retarded. They're gonna be gay.
How's that
retards.
happening? Is it just like
We'll just say somebody
'Cause
whose last name rhymes with ouchie. had
oh
something
Yeah.
to do with it. I don't want you guys to get a strike.
That was. I don't give a shit, dude. We gotten in so much trouble for being
Yeah.
anti-vax.
Oh, dude, have you gotten strikes? Have you gotten strikes?
No.
We are demonetized completely.
Oh,
It's impossible.
damn, yeah.
You know why? It's because like we posted a Die Hard. We watched Die Hard, and we posted
Oh,
the group,
really?
and
Yeah.
we immediately got pulled. And then apparently, so what we're supposed to do, and I didn't know this. I also had to reverse the video.
Yeah,
I was
we
supposed
did
to
a
mirror
watch-
it.
we
You had
did a
to
watch
put your thing
along.
down, flip it, and reverse
I
it.
mirrored. I
What?
just had it like in a clip so people could like sync it up.
Oh, just mirror it.
It didn't have the audio, but it had a video, and I guess like there was enough like continuous footage of it that they were like, I gotta figure something out to do. But so now we just watch the video, but we don't have the clip. But it's like, all right, we're starting it, and then hopefully people sync it up. But
crazy.
We're completely demonetized. It's impossible. So in many ways, we have nothing to lose. But it's also important to support the Patreon. And yes, I'm sorry, one person. I don't comment on the live feed a lot. I'm usually out and about. I'm sorry, but if you do DM any of us, we will respond eventually. Yeah. I don't know. I think she might have even actually stopped paying because I don't engage on the live streams, but it's hard, dude.
Yeah, you sent your underwear to one fan and everybody gets mad at you.
I've never done that. I'm saving that one for the highest tier imaginable.
Right.
There's only so many existing pairs of Joe Gorman underwear. 3 in existence.
7.
3 in existence. The trifecta of underwear. One owned by 2 of the richest men in the world. One currently 3 feet from you.
One of them is crotchless.
Isn't that cool? Yeah.
The other one is edible.
That is like a wild Japanese fetish, is to like buy used underwear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it? I heard they sell underwear in vending machines.
It's
in
a
Japan.
beautiful country, baby.
That's insane.
Goofy little island, huh?
Can you put that in your calorie counter, like one Japanese panty from a vending machine?
The edible panties.
75 calories.
How many points is this on Weight Watchers?
500 calories per sniff.
Yeah. Chew and spit out.
Yeah.
Empty calories.
I don't know if I told this story on the podcast before.
No, you're so secretive.
I'm a little mysterious, but when I lost my virginity
to a man.
Hey,
you got a real tight asshole, Bobby. I'll see you next time
Let's
at the
just
construction
say,
yard.
I could have used that advice about prison earlier.
Shit yourself.
Yeah. I would. Dude, imagine fucking they put me in with Bubba. I'm serving time for tax evasion because I didn't know that you had to declare when you have a podcast. Fucking Bubba walks in. I just immediately shit my pants and he just goes right to sleep.
It's not Bubba anymore. It's Big Mama now.
Big Mama.
That's the new one.
Big Mama's house.
Yeah.
But that's sort of, that's feminine. Why is that feminine?
Well, you'll find out.
Oh.
If you ever go to prison.
Oh, damn.
Most important question.
How
is
ass
the
eating is in now.
how is the prison food?
Because Akon says it's garbage.
Think about hospital food and school food, and then 10 times worse.
Oh, okay.
I
And
did
both
like, I
combined.
liked the school pizza. You ever have that one?
Oh,
where it
the
was like
French
a square?
bread?
They
It was like a
used to
square.
have them. The Elios.
Yes.
The Elios pizza. They used to have them in jail. Used to get it every Friday, and then they took that away.
Damn. Damn. That's
They used to have the
crazy.
nuggets, and then they took that away. They used to have sugar cereals, right? Like those, like those single serving ones. You'll get 2, and it'll be like Cocoa Puffs. Actual good cereals, Lucky Charms, Apple Jacks, and then they went to straight bland cereals, and that's what
not
you
good.
get every morning. You either get plain Rice Krispies, plain Kellogg's cornflakes, or plain bran flakes without the raisins.
Damn.
And it just they rotate that, and then every Saturday you get either soggy or very hard French toast sticks, which are like money in there because
That's
you only get it
tough.
once a week.
But you could,
Dude, you're making jail sound awful.
but like
It
could
is
people
not
like
that bad.
I know like there's some people like, oh, this is like my prison fund where you can like donate money for like a person's like cafeteria tab and stuff. Is that available?
No, you can buy food from the store. Like they'll you have like a $50 limit, and they'll sell certain things like Slim Jims, ramen noodles, bagged rice, like the minute rice that you could cook with hot water. Ding dongs. It's very limited. In Rikers, you have more choices. There's like a 4-page list, and you can get actual like chips, Doritos, Kool-Aid. The one in Long Island, it's just like 1 page back and forth, and most of it's like cosmetics. It's like you have a very limited amount of things you can buy.
Wow.
And if you're in the box, you can't even buy none of that.
Whoa.
So you only get your 3 meals a day. You can't
Did you
buy.
ever go there?
Yeah, I was there for 4 months.
Whoa.
You're in the cell for it's 23 and 1. That's how I named my show after that, because you're in your cell for 23 hours and you come out for a half hour, but they call it 23 and 1.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, that must have been.
No TV.
What did you
no
What did
nothing.
you do to maintain your senses?
You
in
just
that
talk
time?
all day. You're just
Yeah.
talking with because you're not like you're in a single cell by yourself, but there's people next to you.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's like those smaller little areas.
Yeah,
but-
I mean it's the same size as everywhere else, but there's just no TV. There's no clock. There's no You only go to yard once a day, but you don't. There's no extras on the carts. Like they usually give extras to the people who clean and stuff. They don't have none of that. Yeah, it's just fucking shit. But luckily for like the first 2 months, I had weed. But that's what I was in there for. I got caught with some of the weed, but they didn't find all of it. So I still had. I went in there with like an ounce, and they only found like one little balloon and one balloon of matches.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were able to smoke weed?
Yeah, for the
I'd
first
be
like 2
okay.
months, and then
I'd be
the
okay,
second
yeah.
2 months, it was fucking torture.
First 2 months, I'd be just smoking weed and then just wait. I'd smoke like so much weed
Yeah,
my
the
first
first
day,
2
and
weeks.
then be like, oh God, what am I gonna do? It's like, all right, a year's worth of weed
Yeah.
starting now, and then like a day later, I'm like, oh God, I gotta kill somebody. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Like Danny McBride in This Is the End when he eats all the food.
Yeah.
When they wake up. You just wake up, all the balloons are just a bunch of balloon wrap.
yeah.
Is
Damn.
how much time do you get in the yard like every day?
You get an hour every day.
And is that where people work out?
Yeah, you can work out, play basketball, walk around.
Oh, so you
just
only
stand
you only
there.
get an hour of working out?
I mean, you can work out in your cell. You can work out.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
some dorms like
But
the
like with
pods.
the weights and stuff in the
Well,
yard.
there's no weights.
Oh, there's no
in
weights?
County. They have just like those pull-up bar stations where there's dips and different things
Okay.
you could do. Like, and some parts of the jail will have that in the dorm. So you could work out any day, like at
Okay.
any time of the day inside, because there'll be like a 60-man dorm, like the ones you kind of see in jail with the 2 floors. You know, they don't have gates, actual doors with a little
Yeah.
glass mirror that's shut.
Yeah.
Would
I
you
want
get
to
like?
go to jail just to get jacked. When I'm bored here, when I'm bored
you can't
outside
do
of jail.
fucking pull-ups in your house. You gotta.
No,
wanna
when
go-
I'm bored here, I do push-ups. If I was in jail, I would just be doing push-ups all day.
I mean, like, just get a fucking remote job, Matt, and then you can
Yeah.
just do push-ups at home, and
Yeah.
then not
Nah, man. For some reason, it's different because like,
Push-ups
in
in
jail
jail
you
hit
get
different.
motivated.
push-ups in jail hit different.
Because
Yeah.
you have to work out.
Yeah. That's well, like, did they let you like bring books into your cell? Because I would work out
Yeah.
my brain.
Yeah, pussy books too.
Nice.
Pussy books.
Yeah.
What do you mean,
get a
books?
little
Books about
poem.
pussy.
Buttman, Hustlers, Playboy.
Oh, nice.
yeah.
But then you have to like jerk off in front of other guys.
No, because you have like
Which
if
is
you're-
different in jail.
Yeah, it's
It is a
this disrespectful in jail.
Well, like I'm worried. Like I fucking start jerking off, people see my beautiful dick
And
and
they
want to
wanna
have
be a
sex with
friend.
me. And it's like, fellas, please, I'm still like
taken.
wait. Poor Kelly would be like writing me letters every day while I'm in jail. She's like, I know you were right for overthrowing the president and storming the Capitol, and I know your intentions, and I will wait for you. How,
Well, yeah, I guess-
how noble, dude.
I'll stay all 10 years with
Yeah.
you, Joe.
If you guys are that close to each other, can you jerk off?
Well, they took away 2-man cells, like so they took the
Yeah.
bunks away because like that's inhumane, like that's too many people for a square inch,
Yeah.
and so you have your own cell, and if you're in an open dorm, it's usually like a bunch of bunks and single beds, and you have to go in the bathroom at night and hope nobody walks in, or jerk off in the shower, but then you can't bring a book.
You don't
in there.
have the toilet in your room?
There's no room. You're just out in
Oh.
an open dorm, and then you have like
Gotcha.
this bathroom that's like probably this almost as long as the dorm, but like
Yeah.
kind
You
of.
can't jerk off because like across from you, there's another person who can see you, right?
Yeah, well, all the toilets are like side by side,
Yeah.
and then there's like a wall that's like a little bit higher than this. Like the wall's like probably like that, so you could look over and see everybody who's taking a shit.
How
then-
intimate.
Yeah. And there's no curtains, so
I mean, like
you
in
make
your
your own
in your
curtains.
cell, there's somebody across from you. right?
Well, no.
So
in
could
some
you
dorms, some places, like the dorm is almost like a half hexagon, I guess.
Okay.
So only certain cells can see in other cells. Most of the times, they're almost like, what's that shit called? Staggered, whatever. So
Yeah.
they're not across from each
Oh,
other.
so then just jerk off in your cell.
You can just jerk off in your cell.
I
Yeah.
pretend to have
But-
an asthma attack when I'm jerking off in my cell.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can get beat
Guard,
up.
come quick! And then like the guard would come in and I'd shoot a load. And he'd be like, "I'm blind!" And he'd like stumble around. I'd grab his keys and I'd like fucking like Attica and like start fucking unlocking all the gates. And then I'd also shoot loads in front of all the security cameras.
Yeah.
And, like fucking, what's happening in cell block C? It's like, fucking, like, get him out there, dude. The guards come in to try to stop. They're slipping on the jizz, dude. I'm like, freedom!
You got a lot of jizz.
Dude,
That's a lot of jizz.
I'm in prison mode, baby. It's you got to come or die.
I didn't think you could probably like get your hands out of a handcuff with jizz.
Yeah,
It just come on your hand.
I do that thing where I got
No, then he got stuck to the handcuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need someone to jerk me off. We're getting out of here. I'm not falling for that again.
I got a plan.
It's a fucking modern prison break. Involves a lot of jizz.
Yeah.
Oh, Netflix will eat that up.
Oh yeah.
You come in the keyhole and it overpacks.
Yeah.
And then the pressure of the semen.
Once
Yeah.
it starts to harden,
Then you put a Q-tip in.
Yeah.
Just
it's
turn
just
it.
a hairline fracture in the
Yeah.
bars is just enough to fucking.
I'm
All right,
curious-
we're writing this series. This
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
great.
All right,
I want to write a jail show.
Jism break.
Yeah. Are there any jail shows that you watch now, or do you avoid watching them?
Yeah, I don't like watching stuff.
Yeah.
Like
It's too
I just got
fake,
into
right?
this YouTube guy. I think his name is Burner 420.
Yeah.
And he tells a lot of jails. I think he did like nine years in prison. And he was initially going for like 2 years, but he like stabbed a couple people, ended up doing 9. But the way he talks is so funny because he talks so slow. He's like, one time I was out to Canada, not Canada, Colorado. And if you feel like, when you're in prison, you have to stick together. He's like covered in tattoos.
Damn.
If you guys look him up, I
Yeah.
just love hearing him talk.
I've seen.
He's like, and that's a
yeah.
fact.
I've
Did
watched-
you get a prison tattoo?
No, it looks like one, but it's
No,
not.
I thought that might have been like you covered it up or something.
Yeah.
No, this looks like an actual prison
I
tattoo.
see. When I was in,
Right.
I got a tattoo
You got a swastika on your back.
that they changed into a window when I got out.
A different window into your soul.
The Windows 98 logo,
Yeah. Did you ever have
which
any?
is still Nazi affiliated.
Well, technically it's XP. I'm kind of progressive.
Did you ever have any pressure from gangs?
To join or like, there was never pressure.
You never joined because you couldn't dance.
Nah, yeah. Once I found out you had to break dance to
Yeah.
the
'Cause
initiation.
I've seen some of the interviews like Vlad TV does with some guys who like spent a long time in jail.
Yeah.
Like there was one guy who's like one of the leaders of the Aryan Brotherhood who's now like out and doing interviews, and I'm like, I want to just hear about what that looks like. Yeah.
I want to hear his ideas.
Yeah.
Because it's very it's very segregated in jail, self-segregated, where like if we were all in, like you guys would have to hang out with white people, and I would have to go out with Spanish people. And
Oh,
if
yeah.
they
Sounds
see
too
us
bad.
talking, if they see us like conversating too much, they'll come up and say to you like, "Yo, why the fuck you always talking to this guy?" And they'll come to me like, "Yo, why the fuck?"
You and I
always
could
talking-"
talk to you because like we're a little more closer.
You can
in
lie
shade.
and say you're Mexican.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
they'll be like,
But then
"All
they
right."
want to let me back in with the
Yeah.
white people.
Yeah. You try to be ambiguous.
Yeah, I just can't. I'm whatever race needs me most.
It's like, why is Jill with the Muslims now?
It's like they actually make a lot of good points.
Yeah.
So,
I can
so
just
you
fit in
didn't
everywhere.
you didn't join a gang.
No. I almost joined the gang twice, almost. And it was because I was just hanging out with people and they were mad cool. Like, they were my friends and they were in the gang. And then, like, they would talk to me about it and tell me stories and shit. And I'm like, sounds pretty dope. But honestly, I just wanted to learn that handshake. That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to be able to do that handshake with them and wear that red flag. So I almost
Yeah.
became a blood, which would have backfired on me because most of the bloods from my town did not like me. So I would have just went back home just to get fucked with. And then also a lot of blood people in general don't respect you if you're blood and not African American. Like, because there's Puerto Rican
Really?
bloods, there's white bloods, there's Dominican bloods, but like in prison, they're like, nah, you're still
Damn.
not one of us. So we don't care that
Bloods,
you're bloods.
It's 2023. Let's grow up, okay?
Yes.
Come on.
Like Latin Kings, they'll let, like I've known like, Filipinos or like people who weren't or white, like join, but they can never be like really high ranking officers. They'll just be kind of enforcers or just like, almost like, what was that movie? Was it Casino or Goodfellas? When he got shot at the end. I always mix up those movies.
It's Goodfellas. Pesci.
Goodfellas, yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, yeah. So
Yeah.
like basically, how
oh yes, how he
Robert De
wasn't-
Niro
yes.
was Irish,
Yes.
and they were so they could never be. They could work for them. They could put in work. You know, they can
You'll never
enjoy all
truly
of
be
it,
one.
but they will never be made.
Yeah.
So these people can never. I could be a blood, but I would never be a made man.
That's why I could never join the Yakuza when I
Yeah.
wanted to. They were like, no, you're mudblood, as they call it. Because
Yeah.
my grandmother was seduced by a white man. Both my grandmothers were seduced by white men.
But
That's wild. White
one
men.
Of one of your grandma's Japanese. What's
Yeah.
the other one?
Panamanian.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I'm like kind of brownish sometimes.
Ah.
I've been friends with Joe for over 2 years, and I just learned what ethnicity his other grandma is.
Yeah.
Me
That's
too.
because he temporarily left his guard down. Thank you, Gio.
Yeah, Gio brings out this vulnerability. It's like, damn, I guess I can be real. No, she died before I was born, so it's like never just like it was never a part of my life that I connected with.
How'd she go, Harikari?
She did kill herself. Yeah. No, she worked in a hospital, and so she. Dad, turn off the podcast. She injected a syringe of I think it was air into her vein to
Oh shit!
die. So
That was
yeah.
the Panamanian grandma.
Yeah, so that's also how my dad gets all.
Oh, I
pissed
thought
off.
that was the Japanese.
No,
grandma.
no, oh, no, dude, my Japanese grandma lived to be like 95 years old, 96 even.
Japanese women live fucking forever.
Was she ever in the camps or like was
No,
she in Japan when that happened? When that went
No,
down?
she was in Japan when those camps were going on.
Right.
So she was she lived in Sendai, and my grandfather, he was stationed there. I guess during the Korean War. So that's where he met, and then after the war ended, he came back to Japan for her and brought her to America. But my mom was born in Japan, so we have like dual citizen. She was born on an American base in Japan, so she's an American citizen, but has Japan culture. I've never been. I have been to Panama though.
You know what I found out? That like I watched this documentary about the atomic bomb survivors, like the Nagasaki Hiroshima survivors. And at the end, they were talking about how like more than 75% of the country has no idea what happened because they wouldn't teach them. Like, you know how like America came, they bombed them, they took over, they took their army and like, you know, basically indoctrinated them.
Yeah.
Number one. That's why we're number one for now.
No, it's true. It's like you look at how Japanese culture changed.
Yeah.
After they lost all sense of imperialism.
Started drawing hentai.
Yeah, like fucking they started putting slugs in their pussies.
Yeah.
You know?
Octopuses.
Yeah, they just
Glass
started,
shitting tables.
Yeah.
Just because they couldn't show, didn't they do that just because they couldn't show insertion? So they would put octopuses to fuck them?
They do that. They censor, like that's why
porn.
hentai is so big.
Yeah.
There is like, oh, well, that's kind of like a little workaround for them.
Yeah.
You know, and they can kind of
Did
work out
sushi
their
exist
loophole.
before the bombs?
Yes.
Okay.
Nice. And it's crazy, like when people talk about World War II, like it never gets brought up. That like, you know, they always mention the Holocaust, but nobody brings up that we killed like 300,000 people, and like just with 2 fucking bombs, and it was like one day, I think, right?
And we also don't bring up like it's like, and if they do, it kind of makes it like, oh well, it's war, but like those were like civilian areas. It wasn't like there was
those
military
were kids.
presence. Like,
Those were
people
kids
going
and
to
babies
their
and
fucking
families.
jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like the Holocaust is a big deal too.
But I mean, if you think about it, like I get it, 300,000, but that's what? That's like half what the Holocaust really was.
I mean, in like a minute.
Gio's getting us a strike.
It's fine, dude. It's you know what? It's
You
I
deadpanned
went
that
to-
so well. I was
Yeah.
like, does Gio actually
Yeah.
believe that?
I went to
Matt
I went to
laughs to break
Israel.
the tension.
I
All
went
right,
to Israel.
all right. Let me
last
ask. This is
year.
only my only theory, right?
Yeah.
You've seen the tattoos, right? Have you ever seen a tattoo that went up to 7 digits? Right? Because it was all
Folks,
numbers.
He's just asking questions.
I'm just asking a question.
Top
If
tier,
you
dude.
show me a tattoo that has 7 digits on it, if you have any Holocaust survivors or family members
please,
of Holocaust
If I was a
survivors,
Nazi, I'd be like, all right, we're gonna have numbers at the beginning and the end, and then we're gonna get the ones in the middle, and then that way, like when they're like, oh right, everyone's liberated, it was like tail end, but it's like the middle numbers.
Do you
It's
think
like
somebody
it's like
yeah,
the-
did somebody have the number 6 million?
yeah,
Lucky
yeah.
number. You never see a number that's an even number. either.
Yeah.
You never see like a 100,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they stop everything. It's like on an
Yeah.
even number. It's a big deal.
No
You're our
13.
1 millionth fucking customer.
Because like
Congratulations, you got a new car.
You get to go. It's like, oh, really? No, you got to go into that one.
Over 1 billion burned.
Yeah.
They do like 1 and then 6 million, but there's not numbers in the middle, kind of like that prank where they have like a goat.
Mm-hmm.
Like they'll release a goat and one will have like 1 written on it.
Oh, yeah,
and 3 written on it. So then everybody's looking for 2 goat, but there is no 2 goat.
They should have had like one Nazi at the end who knew the exact amount of people who died, and do like the thing where they have the big thing of gumballs and everyone has to guess and see who gets the closest.
The jelly bean contest.
How many Jews did we kill? Who's gonna get the closest?
Well, it's all estimation, like based on the shoes, right?
Yeah.
Because they would save the shoes.
You know,
But like, they don't,
How you know
don't
they didn't
realize-
reuse the shoes?
You don't realize there's 2 shoes per person. So how many right shoes? How many left
So
shoes?
you think it was 3 million?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If even.
But how
Who
many?
knows?
How you know that they didn't reuse shoes? Because like if somebody died and dropped right next to me, you know, and I'm barefoot,
Yeah.
I'm taking your shoes.
So
What
the
about
number
one leg
could be
and-
higher.
And what about one-legged people too? We have to take all this into account.
Were there diabetics in back then?
Absolutely. All those sweet chocolates in Germany, how could they not be?
All the black Israelites in Germany.
I heard the worst part of being in the camps was
Being around all the Jews.
being around all the Jews, and also originally they gave you sugary cereals, but towards the end
they
it
took
was
them
just
away. It was
plain
all
cereal.
bran
Yeah.
flakes.
That's
and
barbaric.
They took the nuggets and pizza away.
Yeah.
That
Do you
sucks.
think the food? Do you think the food was bad in those camps? Or you think?
I don't
Imagine
think
like
there
the
was
food.
food. That was the problem.
I
What's German food like?
I know they like legit experimented on people.
Yeah.
And that's and like, but like,
I've
what's
had-
also crazy is a lot of those scientific breakthroughs are still used today.
Oh yeah, because they brought them all here.
A lot of
Yeah.
Grey's Anatomy
Yeah.
was based on
Yeah.
like those Nazi camp dissections and shit.
Yeah.
I've
Bro.
had German food before, and it's the worst.
Hey.
I love schnitzel. Get out of town, dude. Schnitzel fucking. I like, dude. American food is based on German cooking.
Well, that's why it's so bland.
Yeah, hamburgers, like and French fries, steak
Frankfurters.
frites. Yeah,
Stick
I mean, it's got French in it though.
I mean, yeah, but like, I mean, that's all European food is.
But it was Belgium.
Was
Fries
it?
started
Yeah,
in
I
Belgium.
think so. Yeah.
But
Might be
there's a
thinking of
huge
French
German,
toast.
like if you look in the Midwest, like all the
No,
dis-
so
like
you think
most
about
of
waffles.
the people in the Midwest, they have German ancestry.
Yeah.
Like they started out, it's just like,
Farmers.
yeah, and I think they just got like, oh, okay, we can work this land. We don't need to be incentivized to move to California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But back then, like that mid to late 1800s Ellis Island rush, those people by like World War II, they're full on like we love being American.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that. I think it was more like the younger Germans in America who were like doing the Madison Square Garden Nazi rally things. Those like if
the
you ever
Gormans.
Yeah,
The
we were
Gormans.
focusing on putting Japanese in concentration
Exactly.
camps.
We were.
Italians too, actually.
Oh yes, some Italians.
Mamma mia, how good was that food? We're making fucking spaghetti. You're making fucking ramen.
Slicing up
and
garlic
sushi.
with a razor, very
Yeah.
thin, so it melts in the sauce.
Yeah,
But
dude.
no Germans, because that's like you said, that's like half of Americans.
Did we
Yeah.
put
Fucking-
Germans in concentration camps?
No, not in
No.
America.
You telling me there's not something wrong? Like, come
Yeah.
on.
Makes
You
you
too
think?
many. There were too many Americans who had German ancestry.
Do
I
you
guess
think
that
it
could-
was guilt that made us? We were guilty about World War II.
We only got
that we
involved-
didn't help the
we
Jews.
only got involved after
Pearl
fucking
Harbor,
yeah.
And
And
then-
we had to. It was like where we couldn't sit on the sidelines anymore. So really, the Japanese were heroes. They said,
Yeah.
we must be a villain and attack America, so Eagle of Freedom can fly over Europe. Pearl Harbor, fuck you, that would have. That's like crazy to think like those Japanese
It's like
fighter
Hirohito
pilots.
is here with us.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
They didn't. They knew they weren't coming back. Like
Yeah.
that's like a crazy thing to think about. Like flying, like not only being on like a 6-hour flight, but knowing like, oh, I'm gonna be dead at the end of this.
Also, I heard that
That's
they-
crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like at least like,
Almost
oh, I'm
as
taking.
bad
a-
as Spirit Airlines.
Yeah.
I think they at least got Peanuts halfway
Well, like,
through.
it's like, I'm on a
an Adam
6-hour
Sandler
yeah.
movie before they crash to their death.
I brought my Switch.
Yeah.
I got my Switch, and then I'm like, okay, I'll fucking die right after this. But at least like with a 6-hour, like you get to go to like Denver or San Francisco afterward.
Yeah.
Like you're dead, dude. You don't even get to
Yeah.
fucking enjoy anything.
Well, at least you don't have to fly back.
That's
man.
true.
That's
that would've
the
been
great part.
You fucking landed. Hey, can I refuel?
yeah, you don't have to refuel anything. Yeah,
Damn, dude.
One-way ticket's cheaper than round trip.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. You know that they supposed to be like America instigate, like they like poke them.
Yeah.
fight. And people like Australia warned us. They're like, yo, there's a fleet of Japanese people going over to Pearl Harbor.
There was like a warning the
and
day
they
of.
they said nothing.
I
to
think they
warn
wanted
anybody.
to get into World
Yeah.
War II.
They needed an
yeah.
excuse,
Yeah, they
just
needed
like
an
9/11 was that
9/11?
controlled demolition.
Yeah.
You know, and they're like, "Oh, we got to go to Afghanistan." It's like, why? This was
How?
like, you know,
We need to go for Afghanistan and Iraq.
Yeah.
How? Boom.
Yeah.
Terrorists. We need the Patriot Act.
Mm.
I mean, the Patriot Act made the pandemic so much more easier for them.
because everyone was complacent to it.
Yeah.
Like we still have to take our shoes off at the airport because one person
Yeah.
failed. They
failed,
didn't even get
yeah.
on the plane.
Yeah.
Like they caught him ahead of time, but we still have to take our shoes off. And now it's like, okay, give us $100 and you don't have to take your shoes off.
Yeah.
Why? How? Because a terrorist won't pay $100.
Bucks,
A terrorist
yeah.
would absolutely pay
Pay
$100
$100
to smuggle the shoes on. You know?
Yeah.
But like no one wants to do that anymore, dude. We got better things to do, man. Just let us fucking chill.
Word, like
The airport should
TikTok
be
and
way
Threads.
more. It should be way more laid back.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like somebody said this already, where they should have an airline where it's no security. It's whatever. You take your own risk. Like it's
And
your own
like
risk.
only white people could
But
fly.
Oh, like Soul Plane.
and then just have like the pilots just have armed people on the plane.
Mm.
Well, they have air marshals, don't they? I'm basing
Do
this
they
on
still have
Bridesmaid.
them? I feel like they probably cut back.
I
on
think
that.
it's like the legend, like Batman.
Yeah.
What about
Where
an
it's like,
air-
come on, you got a
yeah.
better chance of dying in a plane crash
Yeah,
than
I
getting stopped by an air marshal.
What
I
if-
say we hijack this.
What if-
Not today, Mickey.
Yeah.
That guy could be an air marshal.
Because you
What
see
about
all
an Air
these
Marshal
racist
Mathers?
people- Air Marshal Mathers. That's good.
That's if Bobby ever flies.
He just flies around instead of kicking people off. He calls them a retarded faggot.
Yeah.
So you talked about how like your last stint in prison, like that was like, this is my last stint. Was there like a moment where you're like, enough? Like in there? Or?
Each time I went to jail, but
Yeah.
as soon as I got home, I forgot about it.
Yeah.
But this time it was just like I saw, because that was the first time I went to jail and had a kid. Because like I've been to jail before, and I was, even though I was in a relationship, there was no kid involved, so now that was stressful. That's what changed it, because I'm like, oh, this is not the same. And she was young; she was too young to remember. I mean, she knows now. Like she knows that I went to jail. And she went.
How
and
old is
visited
she
me.
now?
She's 11.
11.
So
Yeah.
she knows now. And but like I couldn't do that now. It wouldn't be like I wouldn't want her to go through that now.
Right.
Yeah.
Because she probably, she's not gonna remember that shit. If you tell her about it, she probably won't even remember being in the visiting room, because she was like 3 years old, and I was like from 2 to 4, so she doesn't remember none of that shit.
And like you've formed so many more memories with her.
Oh,
since
yeah,
then.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, I moved back. I went to Alabama for 3 years to get my shit together, and then I've been back since 2019. So I've been back for like almost like 3 years now.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
dude. And you kept her safe from that fucking Fauci monster.
Yeah,
Fucking animal, dude. Watch out.
Yeah.
Watch out, Doc.
We're coming for your kids. We're gonna turn them gay
Yeah, dude. Fucking watch out, dude. They that
and
fuck-
sterile.
the New York Fast Pass app where you put your vaccine, they're getting rid of it. They don't need it
It's
anymore.
pointless.
Yeah.
They did what they wanted to do. They vaccinated enough people, and then like I was watching this video. You guys RFK fans?
Of course,
I've
dude, they
started. I mean, I know of him, and I started
Yeah.
listening to him more. I want to like him because I like the idea of there just being like another person besides Biden and Trump.
Yeah.
His voice is tough.
Yes,
I'm voting.
yes.
The man lost his father. Come on, man. He
Yeah.
needs a win, dude. Poor guy.
And there's somebody just like he sounds like a Sith Lord and
Yeah.
shit.
I mean,
Palpatine.
he did get shot in the head, so it's pretty.
That's how his
impressive.
voice got fucked up.
Yeah, by Sirhan Sirhan.
Who's
The
Sirhan
man's so
Sirhan?
nice they named him twice.
That's the guy who shot Bobby Kennedy Sr.
Oh.
It's like he's a Kennedy. He got shot in the head, right? Yes, that's why his voice.
That's-
He's doing pretty well for a guy who got
I
assassinated.
mean, it's fucking. I'll say it's pretty fucking risky of him to get out and say what he says, and to
Yeah.
be in a position that he's in, and like also it's like have like, I'm not gonna say like a legit like, but it's like the namesake he has
Yeah.
carries weight. Like the Kennedy name carries weight. They're kind of like the closest thing to American royalty. Where it
Right.
was like, I think you guys might be a little too young, but like John F. Kennedy Jr. was like a celebrity.
yeah.
Like my mom was upset when that plane crash killed John F. Kennedy Jr.
Day
Like my
the music
parents,
died.
my parents were sad, and they were like, they literally said, I don't know what Jackie's gonna do now, or like they were glad Jackie was dead or something, that she
Yeah.
didn't have to see her son. It was like they were like
Yeah.
concerned about Jackie Onassis Kennedy.
He
you know?
he took flying lessons. This is when like the conspiracy people tried to get out of hand, like, oh, he got murdered, the JFK curse, the Kennedy curse. My brother was in the same pilot school that he was in, and the instructor still worked there. And they said he would rush through everything. He didn't care. Like he kind of almost skipped the line of what he had to do.
Right.
So he definitely crashed. It was something on his own.
Now look here, Chowder Head. I know how to get this plane in the air. I'm gonna get in there right now, right after this. Come on, Dollface. We're going for a ride.
Was he with somebody?
Probably. Wasn't he with his fiance or something?
I don't know.
that's-
What were you gonna say about RFK Jr.?
Oh, so he was talking about how, like, the vaccines, like, a lot of the companies made all these vaccines, and they had to get rid of them. So then they would have doctors, say that this is necessary. When it was, at that point, they're like, this is not going to help anybody.
Yeah.
And when you had all these people saying that, like, oh, vaccines cause autism, and then that you get looked at like you're crazy, he comes out and says all this shit. And it's like, all right, now it's kind of an insider saying it. And then this other guy, he went in Congress, I can't remember his name, but I have the video saved somewhere. And he says, he's like, we studied the Amish. He's like, Amish people have 0 cases of autism, 0 cases of autoimmune diseases, 0 cases of that. Like, they're like the healthiest kids, and none of them take vaccines.
I mean, there's a lot of other things they don't do. Maybe electricity causes autism.
Yeah,
Well,
imagine
wait a
that.
minute, dude.
No, there would have been retards for
Yeah.
since the 1800s.
Wait, you're telling me
Electricity's been around.
Yeah, the Amish who get up at like 4 a.m. to build a barn aren't artistic?
Yeah.
That's like the most autistic thing you can do. Gotta get up early. Gotta build a barn. Gotta build a barn. Right,
Gotta churn
perfectly built
butter.
barn.
Yeah.
Gotta churn butter. Can't use electricity. Electricity bad. Definitely bad.
Yeah, it is definitely autistic. Yeah.
Woo! Damn. Well, fucking congrats, Gio, man. That's awesome to fucking. You fucking turned your life. You're an inspiration to everyone, dude.
Yeah.
And now look, you're a fucking regular at the stand. You're performing all. You're beloved in New York, dude. Even the
You
fucking
think so? I
even
thought after the
What?
I
After
thought
what?
after the split during the pandemic, I still have some taint on me.
I think it's
Must have
it's
some-
all water under the bridge. Now,
I
look,
think we
everyone's out and
all,
about.
like-
I don't get booked in Brooklyn.
Nobody, but nobody died.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
That's
we
the-
all have fucking whatever thing it is, whatever drama or whatever we had. We always think, well, that's going to stick with me. And
Yeah.
maybe it does a little bit, but I think we also always think other people are thinking about us way more than they actually are.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
But
You're
I
the
know there's
admin,
some
dude.
bookers, but
You're
yeah.
the admin of the New York Comedy. You can fucking do whatever you want, dude.
Yeah. I'm gonna start posting my clips on there. Just to-
That'd be so fun. Only you. And
Only
like
I
three-
could post my clips.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I won't even let the other admins do it.
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh, you don't want you have an objection? All right, get out the group.
Yeah.
Start kicking people out.
Well, that people love that shit. They love
Yeah.
that flex. You know, that's why
Yeah,
everyone's
that's-
on Threads now. That's
Yeah.
the new. That's the new app. You all
yeah.
get.
I'm
you
on
all-
Threads.
Follow
on
me on
Threads.
Threads, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just started it today and I already got like 200 followers.
That's the because it
It's so
immediately.
It
addicting.
immediately takes your followers over. Yeah.
because like people just this person followed you. This all day my shit's just going off.
and
Yeah,
it's like
me
it's like
too.
legit. Oh, look at those blue check marks following.
Yeah.
Because it's like people fuck up and they automatically follow everyone. That's how they get you.
Yeah.
I think everyone does that. It's just I didn't, but now I have to manually add people in.
That's
which kinda
tough.
Sucks,
You
but-
got to
Yeah.
do I just you
No,
gotta-
because there's some people I definitely don't want to follow.
Oh.
Some people are just for looky, jerky.
Yeah.
Some people aren't for listen, what I have to say.
Ah, okay, that makes
I
sense.
haven't followed back anybody yet.
Nice.
I just follow Netflix.
Got to keep that.
I just follow Netflix and Zuckerberg.
Zuck, dude, how cool! He just did that to fuck with Elon.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, fuck you.
He's like, yeah.
The only thing I never thought worked well was Facebook dating, which was weird because I thought that would pick up.
Oh, that was so terrible. I hate it because like I used it at first. I'm like, let me see. This is pretty
Yeah.
cool because and you could see if you have mutual friends with them, which is awesome.
It just made sense because, like,
Yeah.
oh well, if they're gonna curate all this personal information about
Yeah.
me, might as well use it to get laid.
Yeah.
you know.
And then I notice when I don't use it, like it'll be like, oh, you have a notification. I go look at it, and they're like, oh, this person might like you, and it's like this hot chick. And I go and swipe right, and I'm like, oh, no match. And then it's like 30 uggos after
Right.
that, and I was
Yeah.
just like, oh, what the fuck? I'm
They
like,
trick you. They
you
catfish
catfished
you.
me.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
catfished me.
Yeah,
And
I
I
never-
think
yeah.
I think the algorithms are getting smart, and they could tell if you're attractive, and it tries to put you with the same level. because I haven't got like a single hot girl.
They could do it all. They could do it all.
I
for
just
free.
get big fat black women. I'm like, what is it? They think like they just want. They have a thing for Dominicans.
Gio, I think it's time for you to be the father that stepped up.
Yeah. Be the father that actually came back with milk.
They know what people want, but they know like, okay, we got to put this behind a paywall. So it's like, if you want more shit, give us $6 a month.
Oh yeah,
We'll give you
that's how they
people
get-
out of your league.
Yeah. You gotta pay.
It used to be like unlimited, because Tinder used to be like unlimited swipes.
Right.
It
Yeah.
used to be unlimited swipes, unlimited match. This was back in like 2017.
Yeah.
And
back
now
when
they
it was
charge you to get extra.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, put yourself in front.
I remember like, my friends would be like, no, you got to pay for it. I'm like, fucking why, dude? It's
Yeah.
like, if you want to be, you got to invest in it, dude. You want to invest in yourself? I'm like, I don't want to invest in that, dude.
Yeah.
If I'm going to invest in that, I'd invest in fucking drugs to give me the confidence.
I'm gonna spend money for an app that's going to get women to. I'm gonna have to
Reject me.
spend money
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Yeah.
to take out. It's like, what's the investing? I'm
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
investing to spend more money.
I just want to give an Arab man a goat.
Yeah.
Go from there.
all you need to do to impress a woman and get her to be yours is just say, I have cocaine. That's all you ever.
Yeah.
Or I have
Remember
meth
that,
in
babe? Remember when I
Alabama.
brought coke here? Oh, she doesn't like it when I bring that up, but yeah.
I have meth in Alabama works too.
Yeah, I have meth, man. That's how I met my shorty down there.
That's fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
fuck, Gio, where can people find you? What's next? What's next for Gio? Where can we find you? What can we look forward to? Take all the time you need. We can always get this in post, baby.
Come out to the stand.
Fuck yeah.
I believe it's going to be July 25th. Come to the stand, 9 o'clock. We have 23-1. Follow me on Instagram, Gio Perez 86. Subscribe to our YouTube On the Gate podcast. And if you like that, you subscribe to our Patreon, On the Gate podcast on Patreon. And yeah, that's it, man. That's
Okay.
everything.
Gio, last words. What's one thing that our listeners should do to survive in prison?
Shit yourself.
There you have it.
Nobody wants to fuck a shitty ass.
You heard the man. Folks, shit yourself and then post a picture of your disease on the Discord.
Yes.
We need it. Best image gets a special date with Matt Maran.
Whoever has the shittiest ass, I will go on a date with
Yeah.
for
You
the
know-
podcast.
Yeah, for the pod.
Eat corn and a lot of lettuce if you want to make it extra nasty, and some red peppers too.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Bye.